resting, bro.
Yeah.
We got back tomorrow, because I got to go to Atlanta tomorrow to shoot with Sherry.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, I go to Indiana for NFL Combine. I've been
Tight.
there for 5 days.
And we are back with another episode of Fuck You Money with Ty and Yo.
Yep.
Man, Ty. I'm Yo.
What's happening?
We in Miami.
Miami, baby.
Very nice day out.
Uh-huh.
And, Ty, it's February 2024, and something that's been going on since, I think, the beginning of the year, actually toward the end of last year.
Yep.
Massive
Third quarter, actually.
amounts of layoffs.
Yep.
In media, tech, and gaming, probably across entertainment right
Yep.
now. We're seeing layoffs. And we can't talk about Fuck You Money without talking about the nature of the businesses that people operate in.
Yeah, I mean, the reasoning on why Fuck You Money is like a thing that has lived and been active even before the show was because people can identify like, okay, where is the safety? The safety is really only in having your own infrastructure, right? Your own resources so that you can dictate, what kind of life you want to live.
100%.
Right? So that's really the essence of the Fuck You Money conversation, right? But then you're able to pivot and make decisions faster to kind of like be ahead of a curve. That's another way of having Fuck You Money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we think about like Warner Music Group, right? People always have these different positive and negative connotations about record labels historically, right? A lot more predatory than positive, right? But there's two things that's happening. So January, Warner Music Group posted their biggest quarter and fourth quarter as far as in gross. Then they laid off 10% of their staff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't have the itemization of which department got laid off the most,
right?
But what we can tell is that Warner is positioning themselves and getting ready for what the future could hold, right? And the future could hold, one thing is there's AI, right? There's AI that's like creating records.
Mm-hmm.
Two, the independent sector is growing really, really rapidly, right? Three, with the independent sector growing so fast, that is really changing A&R, right? And so if anybody knows how the record business works, is that they give a lot of money into artist development, artist discovery and acquisition, right?
100%.
So when they are being able to say, well, instead of me spending $4 million in budgeting for A&Rs, right, I can lay off these different individuals. Or they can say, well, I might as well just bet all my money on A&Ring and get rid of my, digital team, get rid of software team, all of these different things, right? And so what ends up happening is these elements, they start to really focus it on, okay, what are the things that's gonna affect our business, right? And how do we grow from that? And so Vice Media was another one that sold for 50% of what they was acquired for by BuzzFeed.
Yep.
Right?
Just happened.
But see, that's different than Warner because Vice took a loss from the original owner, or the owner that acquired them. They took a 50% loss to kind of save their bet, right? So they didn't go bottom out. And with that, still, you had to lay off people. So the new owners come in, they get a 50% discount, and then they lay people off. Now, those are two things that you can take in consideration of that. One, the business probably wasn't ran as properly. Spent too much money, whatever the case may be. Probably too many people that they was hiring.
Also, too much was changing in media.
Yep.
Because they're not even actually going to update the Vice website anymore.
Right.
Which feel like, to me, that's like great IP, right?
Yeah.
People know Vice, people been going to the website, but somewhere along the way with traffic, it was not bringing in enough profit.
Yep.
So to cut that out completely says a lot about the new owners and whatever their focus on the future will be.
Well, 1,000%.
Because everything you're saying, Ty, is about people looking at the future of their businesses, not just like what has worked in the past.
Yep.
AI is new.
Yep.
They have more AI jobs being like for hire, people trying to get hired for AI jobs, than the actual layoffs right now.
Yeah.
100,000 of jobs in AI is looking to be created currently, while you got 30,000 tech jobs been laid off since the end of last year.
Yeah. And if this was so interesting, I seen something on Instagram where it was this white gentleman, and he was saying that, how people saying the future is that, you need to be teaching your kids how to code. You need to be teaching your kids how to code because in the future, that's going to be so important, right? And he said, I completely disagree with that. I disagree with it because the goal is to make it so that you don't have to code, right? He said, so that's where AI has been introduced at. That's where all these different software has been introduced at, where you don't have to learn how to code actually.
Yeah, it's prompts now.
Yeah, you don't have to learn how to code. The technology is going to do what you want it to do so that you can actually still be proficient in what you actually are great at and not having to learn a whole new skill that you're not really as passionate about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So another thing that we can touch on as well is like with Spotify. Spotify been doing a bunch of layoffs over the last 6 months, right? And one place that really, really took a hit was their podcasting division, right? Their podcasting division, they laid off a lot of people in their podcasting division because everybody's still trying to figure out podcasting. I can't remember which company. Snapchat just had a bunch of layoffs as well. And I can't remember if it was Apple or if it was Amazon. They got rid of a whole department.
A whole department?
Yeah, I can't remember which company it was, but they got rid of a whole
I
department.
know I saw Amazon just had some layoffs. I don't know about a whole department.
Yeah, there was a whole department one of the companies got rid of. It was a developmental property that they were trying to figure out. And I don't know if it was the AI side. I don't know what it was, but they got rid of the whole department because it was like a developing thing. They was doing a bunch of discovery, trying to test out things and all those different nature.
Now, do you think having leaner teams allow for businesses to grow longer?
If your leaner team understands how to utilize the tools that the internet gives you, right? I'm finding so many different AI tools to help drive some of the promotion and those different elements for our just overall brand and company, right? That I'm just like, do I need to hire 3 social media people, or do I just need to hire 1 and let them oversee all the technology, right?
I mean, one's a no-brainer as far as keeping it lean.
Yeah, because you're cutting. Let's say if your budget is $150,000 to go hire 3 people to do social media for $50,000. But if I just hire one, I automatically cut all my costs by 66%, right? I spend a third on payroll for 1 person, and I spend another 20% of that same budget to just operate a whole bunch of accounts that can do a lot of automation, right?
And automation speed.
Yeah.
Just makes it faster. Do you feel like, based on currently last year, were you seeing as many AI tools? Do you feel like the AI tools are growing rapidly as well?
Oh, yeah. AI tools are growing extremely rapidly. I mean, you just had OpenAI that got text to video, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was already using CapCut prompts in AI and ChatGPT 4.0. I was already using, CapCut and Wikipedia prompts to create videos that was as long as 8 minutes long, right? And these wasn't even like really pretty videos, but it was a reference video so I can give the editors to like recreate something that looks way better, right?
How'd you like that process?
It was super simple. You know what I'm saying? Even the process of chopping down our content from Fuck You Money, right? I was showing one of the homies on it, and she was like, man, I'm doing all this stuff by my hand. I boom, open my laptop, press 1 button, seen her 12, 13, 14, 15 different templates. Already chopped up, you can click on it, and she was just like, what the fuck is this? She was like, so you just uploaded the shit, and then it just chopped up 35 different 30 to 1 minute long clips and titled them. And then you got templates that you can like place them in. You can play with the font. I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, sign me the fuck up for this. I need to use this because I'm like doing this by my hand, trying to make sure all these different things are in place. I'm like, nah, I get it, but nah, you don't have to do all that.
And like what she's doing is a job for somebody.
Oh, yes, that's what she said. She said, I won't be able to maintain this, right?
No.
You got to realize, obviously I do a lot of shit. So on top of what V is putting together, on top of what you're doing, on top of the technology we're using, I'm just sitting at home. Every time we get a final video, I'm chopping down 3 to 8 pieces of short form content that's averaging about 30 to 40 seconds long. All for the release and the consistent promotion to drive it. So our IG page has nothing but video content. It ain't gonna be no photos. It's gonna be all reels, right? You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna be able to like, those are the things that's gonna be going viral when people like grab these different pieces,
100%.
right? So I'm only posting reels. Then the reels are gonna be promoted on Instagram story. I'm not really posting no photos, right? Because we're not photographers. We're having these conversations.
Exactly.
So our fan base is going to be driven by the audio and the video of what they're seeing and how they're moving.
100%.
So we're talking about Instagram, 6 to 8 pieces of content, you know, on Instagram Reels weekly, right?
Yeah.
Really every 12 to 13 days, right? Now we're talking about those different things being shared across the web because people are picking them up, resharing them, remixing them, all of those different things, and then doing the same exact thing on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts.
And if we got guests, this is easy to just give them a drive with all these videos in it. So if they just want to post one or they want to share as well, it just makes it easier for everyone to have access to the content.
1,000%.
And that speed is obviously going to help grow the brand. But I guess the hard part about what's going on right now is, what about all these positions and jobs? Like, how are people going to be able to find roles if AI technology is actually working faster than a person?
Well, I don't think that people won't be able to find jobs because of AI. I think that what's going to happen is, before AI, people worked, before the internet, people worked really, really hard because they had to. The internet came along, and over time, with social media being introduced to the web, whatever, people got a lot more laxed and lazy, right? What AI is going to do is AI is going to be the technological aspect of what happens before the internet was here. You're going to have to work hard again. That's what AI is going to create. AI is going to make it so that you have to work hard again. It's not going to be none of that bullshit. You know, you're doing this, you're doing that, and you can just, you're going to have to work hard again. And I think that's what people are really missing. And that's, I think, what people are like really afraid of when it comes to AI, because it's going to make everybody that's trying to do something work hard. And if you already work hard, then you ain't got to worry about it.
Right. But do you think this is, I just like the timing of the AI boom and the layoff circumstances going on right now. I'm just trying to figure out, how is that going to affect, like, I guess, like the entertainment market?
Technology has always pushed humanity forward.
Yeah.
Right? Like technology has always pushed it forward. So like, before AI became this like relevant, right? Think about WeWork, right? Or just having regular office space. People started working remotely. Office spaces started to struggle, right? There's gonna always be something with technology that's gonna drive it. Point of example. Social media created this element where the kids became more introverted because they wasn't forced to go outside and develop those skills, right? So now people have full-blown relationships on the web that is their ecosystem. And they don't have to go out and like really mingle and deal with nobody, right? So it's arguable to say that before the internet was here, and when I say the internet, the speed, not Wi-Fi, not dial-up, the speed to be able to live chat somebody, or to be able to play video games against each other through the internet, right? Internet gaming. People was more sociable.
You had to be.
Yeah, you didn't have no choice, right? So social media created a whole bunch of new wealth, new revenue, new faces, new opinions, new journalists, right?
Absolutely.
But it also created a whole batch of kids who are low self-esteem. They have more anxiety issues. They're more prone to suicide. They're more prone to like being an introvert. And they didn't get an opportunity at 5 years old to be pushed outside to go and play with their friends.
Mhm.
Even if that was a little weird, because before the internet, I had friends that was weird. Like, oh, they're kind of weird. But
Yeah.
back then, there was nerds or like, they like to read, they like to study. We used to think that was, oh, weird, bro, like weird.
Because you can still be introverted, but you still have to go outside.
You still had to go
You
outside.
still have to go outside. And to your point, just about the video games, I just remember having the kids in the neighborhood would have to come over to your house to play 2K.
1,000%.
Y'all could not, like, oh, I'll see you online or some type of online, what? Nah, I needed 2 controllers.
Yep.
I needed 2 bodies. So now that has completely been eliminated as a need. You don't need to do that. So obviously that affects everything. Like you said, new wealth, new people, but also what are we losing from what we left behind?
I think what we're losing is lazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's what I think we're losing. AI, listen, AI is gonna make you if you're not working hard,
Mhm.
I can't even say go get a job. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because every sector of business globally over the next 3 to 5 years is gonna have some level of AI automation.
Mhm.
If
Within
they
the
don't,
system.
they don't.
Yeah.
They're gonna every element of it. When you go to a football game, there's gonna be an AI technology somewhere embedded into that.
Into the experience.
Into the experience.
Uh-huh.
It might be as soon as you walk through the door, your tickets is already scanned. You don't even gotta pull your tickets out. Like there's gonna be some iteration of it
I see what you're saying.
in every single element of it. So if you don't have to adapt AI at all, but you better learn how to work hard at what you are really good at.
Mhm.
Or you better become very skilled at plumbing, locksmiths, contractors, people that are handyman, like, things of that nature. But even then, the technology is gonna find a way to put more efficiency in the market. That's all it's gonna be. You're not gonna be around this motherfucker just lazy. You know the era of like, it's funny. The music business might even the talent might even get better digitally because they can use AI to make them sound better.
Mhm.
Now, live, they're probably still going to be terrible
Yeah.
unless that technology can travel with them, right?
Because auto-tune at one point was like a technological advance.
1,000%.
So you saw what happened with singers. But now you're talking about being able to just really go edit vocals.
1,000%.
But what does that turn the live experience into?
Well, the live experience is still going to be the live experience because people are going to want to leave out of their houses. Humans don't want to stay inside.
No. Pandemic.
We're not bears. You know what I'm saying? Like we crave adventure. We crave innovation.
Yeah.
That's the only way that we evolve because we always want to go outside, overly curious, all those different things. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about the difference between a person wanting to, this is a human in a nutshell. A person wanted to jump off this ledge because they're curious on if they will be able to fly versus somebody who is mentally unhealthy and they want to commit suicide. Right? That's the human in one ball. Elon Musk will probably be like, I want to see if I can fly. I got this new pill that I've been fucking discovering, and it's supposed to make you levitate. And I gotta test.
I gotta try.
Right? That's not a person that's gonna jump off the cliff, dive off of this motherfucker because they just unhappy, they don't want to be here. Right? That is the human experience in a nutshell. We're either curious or we don't want to be here.
One or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when we start thinking about, what is AI gonna do for jobs? Make humans work harder. That's what humans been doing the entire existence of humans.
Yeah.
It's only this short period of time in history from 1998
maybe
to where the internet was birthed to introduction of, let's say the introduction of AI in a marketplace 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So from 98
to
to 2020,
Yeah.
right? This is like the internet boom. That short period of time, humans was lazier in the history of human existence.
Right.
You niggas that built the pyramid were lazy. The motherfuckers that was, walking miles and miles to go from one part of the country to the other part of the country.
Yeah.
People that was even doing in war.
Yeah.
There was no lazy human.
Selling across the planet.
Bro, there was no lazy, bro, just think about it, right? At one point, there wasn't no elevators.
Yeah, stairs.
You see what I'm saying? It's a short period of our existence in the billions of years, right?
Yeah.
That we're the laziest.
Yeah.
So AI is definitely, to me, is an introduction to get rid of all this lazy shit.
It's kind of like a great equalizer in a way.
Yes.
I feel you.
I'm excited as a motherfucker.
You seem like it.
Oh my God. This AI shit is goddamn. I'm looking for an acronym because I like putting acronyms.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my AI acronym that I'm gonna start using. It ain't hit me yet.
Are you excited about what the value of IP will be in the future?
1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm excited about what AI is gonna drive humans to do from a invention perspective, innovation perspective. I'm excited about how much it's gonna be able to give the opportunity to people that know how to work hard, but they may not be as tech savvy, right? Told you I was talking to a young lady who works very hard, but she was goddamn piecing this shit together.
Yeah, her skill.
I was like, hey, sweetheart, don't worry about that. Click this link. Let me open my computer for you and show you. Automatically, that's gonna make her probably 56, 70% more effective at that task that she was trying to do. What she was working on, I had already created 35 short clips the time that it took her to do that shit.
Yeah.
35 in my bed. We already filmed 30 hours of content in front of a camera.
Yeah.
So that's the work.
Yeah.
We already thinking about the outreach for guests.
Yeah.
I already think about this. Why would I spend the time trying to edit some shit
down
or spending the money to always edit those different shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because it's going to end up holding up production.
Yes.
Okay, tell me this. Culture media. What does the current media landscape make you think of when you're building a media company?
Digital content. Digital content. Because with digital content, right, with technology, I got this series that it's an animation that I've been working on in my brain. I ain't wrote it down yet because it ain't finished yet.
But you're proud of it.
Right. But it's in my brain, right? And it's about, it's this animation to show kids that they can really make money without doing illegal things. But I'm putting it into like a cartoon. Bro, the way technology going, man, I can put that shit on YouTube. I can have a whole episode, get all the AI to create the characters, get the dialogue going. Literally, I can do all of that stuff through what AI is progressing to. You know what I'm saying? Do I want one of the characters to be a turtle? Do I want one of the characters to be a sloth? Do I want one of the characters? I can go through these different things with AI, right? So I can be my own Pixar.
Yeah. Who just also had layoffs.
Yes.
I mean, I love that because my niece is 5 now, so she watches like Peppa Pig.
Yep.
Millions and millions and millions of views on YouTube.
Right.
Like just the amount of kids just watching this one pig. If you can make Peppa the Pig in your brain, bro, and have that on YouTube, why would that not be something that kids watch?
Also, another thing that makes me think of what I think about when I think about cultural media in the digital landscape is family content. Like, we doing Fuck You Money. This ain't as family friendly, right? This is more like young adults.
Yeah.
But like, even when we're promoting, you're gonna start transition. You're gonna start seeing more FYM, more than you see Fuck You Money.
Yeah.
And you're gonna hear Fuck You Money, but when it's time to promote it and drive it, but I know what the audience is. The audience is not for kids.
No.
Right? The audience is just not for kids, right? But from a thought process of digital content and what the future of it is, I'm making family content. You know what I'm saying? Like when we launch Wordcast, you know what I'm saying? When we launch on shows like anything that deals with sports, right? Some of the true crime stuff ain't gonna be for kids,
Yeah.
right? But I'm launching family content. I have no interest on like smoking in the videos, content. Like no, and that has nothing to do with anybody else content. But in my brain, censorship is gonna be crazy in the future, and I don't want to get caught up in that wave because Walmart, QuickBooks, Crocs, everybody want the young demographic. Everybody want the young demographic, or they want the family. You know what I'm saying? Or they want the black woman.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Who's going to drive everyone else to it. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they don't want the single black man in his 40s.
30s, barely.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it's not the demo that's going to expand.
No, it don't grow.
No.
Because you out here, we don't even know if you're going to have any kids. Right? Because they know the family got multiple streams of income.
Got
potentially.
To feed these kids?
Yeah.
You need it. But I think the idea of family content, from the iPads, the TVs, to the computers, you're going to need to have something in front of your children, in front of your teenagers, your young adults. So if it can be educational in any kind of way, why would that not drive it? If it's entertaining in any kind of way, that will drive it. But being able to even make that, to know you can produce that, versus, I think when I was like 13 years old, I thought people that produced TV had billions of dollars, probably the smartest people in the world to make a Toy Story, right? But now it's like you're able to make, like you said, you can be your own Pixar.
1,000%. And you only got to get it right once. You know what I'm saying? You only got to right. Think about this, right? With Fuck You Money, you know, we're not trying to be another show that's successful, right? We're seeing what these other shows are doing and being successful. Oh man, that's really dope. I want to take what my ideas are and I want to put it in front of people and I want to see, can I earn an audience through this exercise? Can I earn, advertisement opportunities, right? Because we're going to go out and we're going to pay for an audience. We're going to pay for advertising in front of an audience. But I want to be able to know, like, oh, me and you just sit down and wherever we're sitting at, is the content and the story that we're telling going to be beneficial for the next, the next episode.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a simple thing, man. Like the way that cameras are getting better, the iPhone cameras, the fucking Android cameras, like at some point, we don't even got to travel really that heavy. We can have 3 iPhones and an Android and have 4 different angles. And as soon as it's dropping, we uploading it to, you know what I'm saying? That's technology.
The Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
You can go straight from the camera on your glasses to your phone, to Facebook, to Instagram.
Yeah.
That fast. That's only going to get better. Yeah. They're only going to be able to improve on that. And that's a camera that's on sunglasses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is a camera.
Yeah.
That's built to be a camera. So everything's evolving.
And I want to point something out. In 2002, I went to college.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if I don't make it in football, I want to be a disc jockey. I want to work in radio, right? So I did intro to communication.
Okay.
The worst advice I've gotten came from this white woman. It might was a white man. I can't remember, but it definitely was white. And they said to the classroom, if you're going into communications, just be ready for you're only going to make like $13,000 a year. You're going to be a journalist in the field and you're not going to make a lot of money. And me, I was making money when I was back then.
Already, yeah.
Oh, fuck this shit.
13,000?
19,000 to be a journalist in the middle of fucking, I'm finna get out of this shit, right? She was so wrong. If I would have stayed in communication and I would have, mind you, we from Atlanta. If I would have got out of college and just kept rolling into communication, I would have either started a blog or I would have been on somebody's radio show, right? And that means that I would have been doing that since 2006, 2007. Mm-hmm. I would have built my own personal brand before personal brands was a thing, right? And then I'll be 14, 15. Let me see, I'll be 20 years in.
20 years in, yeah.
With a syndicated show,
Yep.
educate, all of these different
Yep.
things, right?
Yep.
And probably would have been made way more money. Because I was early on Twitter. I was early on all the blogs.
Yeah.
So she was so wrong. Like, literally so wrong. So that was in 2002. That was 22 years ago. So what I'm doing today, when people say, oh, you better, AI is gonna get rid of you. That's the same thing she told me, but she just was talking about the internet. Because mind you, that's 2002.
Yeah.
The boom just happened in 96, 97.
Absolutely. The boom's happening, but it's also improving vastly year over year. And I don't know why it was such a doomsday scare, the internet, for print media. Because it's not like they're encouraging you to get online.
No.
Right? They're just letting you know that if you end up working at this publication, you're going to make this much money, and there's a good chance that this thing is going to ruin the future of this business. Not that this thing is going to make your future.
Listen, let me tell you something. Anybody that's looking at this show that's curious about this future or that's nervous about the future, AI is not going to get rid of jobs. That's not what AI is going to do. AI is going to make it so that whoever is getting the job, they can't bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what AI is going to do. AI is not going to get rid of jobs. It's going to be the people that get the job, they cannot bullshit.
Yeah. Because you will be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be replaced.
Now, there will be a loss of some type of job.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But there would be a gain of a job. So you don't know what the balance is going to be from that.
Well, I was talking to somebody that said that a lot of middleman jobs will be eliminated. Like, if you were like a coordinator producer, you won't need that between the producer and another creator. Like, all those in-between jobs.
You're still going to need it because the in-between job makes it so that the producer can actually produce. So you're going to need the jobs that puts you in the weeds, like that keeps you out of the weeds. Because AI might not necessarily can go and pick up a new camera, right?
Yeah.
Or go and, sit at the printer for hours waiting for 250 pages to be printed. There's just certain things that AI is not going to be able to do in the creation of art, right? AI is not going to be able to.
It's not going to be a street team. It's not going to be on the ground.
Like it's so many different jobs that's not going to be harmed by AI. But there's going to be a lot of jobs that AI is going to make better. It's like having. I don't know if you think about it from a standpoint of like when you go to the league, right? Whoever Tom Brady was a backup quarterback. Just so we clear.
Okay.
He was backing up Drew Bledsoe, who's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
So AI is that. Okay. You're gonna know whoever wants you're not getting your job back if you lose it when AI is on the scene. You're not getting your job back. Because you may not know, you gotta know how to prompt. That's gonna be the new word. You gotta know how to prompt.
Yeah.
Right? So if you sitting down and you're like, I need to set up a business account in Bank of America, right? There's only so many different things that AI gonna be able to do from a standpoint of verification, right? There's gonna have to be somebody to verify that face ain't an AI-driven face, right? There's gonna be somebody that's gotta verify that this documentation isn't fraudulent, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be technology that technology is already here.
Yeah.
They already got technology that scans if documents are fake or not.
Yeah.
That's
but someone has to monitor that.
Yeah. So there's always gonna have to be some oversight for those different things. But those bullshit jobs that really don't necessarily push the needle, but it drains the business, it's gonna be compacted into something that's real. Right? So that job is gonna be picked up, and the person that's getting hired, they're gonna know, your assistant gotta make sure this is done. We're not gonna hire nobody for this.
Right.
Because either you get a budget to hire an assistant to take care of it, or we're gonna just have our, person handle AI, or you gotta handle AI.
Our prompt person.
Whoever that is. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
That's how I see it.
So, again, we're talking about things advancing that will only get better at time.
Yep.
But if you currently have a job right now in tech or media or entertainment at all, would you encourage people to start thinking about their personal brands and their personal businesses outside of where they just work?
Yes, 1,000%. It's out of where you work. You know what I'm saying? I was reading this article about how the personal brand killed art.
Oh, that self-promotion piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And man, it was like I felt it so deeply 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was like, oh, that's how I felt when I read it. I was like, man, 10 years ago, man, I feel this. But today, man, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're going to be on the internet, you got a personal brand. It's just about how good your personal brand is.
How strong it is, yeah.
How strong it is, right? So for me, although I don't want niggas running up on me while I'm trying to eat, because I appreciate my privacy, but if my privacy, the price for my privacy is exchanged for people getting more educated, this information gets spread around, and I'm known as an educator, and that's why people want to approach me, then I'm going to trade it, and I can make money doing it. I'm going to trade that off every single day. 10, 12 years ago, I probably would have said, nah, I'm straight, right? But that was me being more selfish about, you know, what my personal life would be like, whatever the case may be. But now I'm just like, if I spend all this time getting this information, but I don't spend just as much time trying to get it out, what was the purpose of spending all the time getting information? It's still going to come off and be a selfish act because I was only doing it just for myself at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, the exchange for going out and being a front-facing educator and an innovator and somebody who has information that can help another person is that you'll grow your personal brand that'll have value in the world. Then you can control your destiny. Your personal brand development is nothing but literally your damn transmission for your retirement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna decide if you go forward or you gonna go backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if your shit, if you don't find value in that, you better find value in somebody that does find value in it so you can just jump on their bandwagon and service them. But that's what it's gonna end up being. People talking about AIs this is where where it's gonna get tricky. AI is gonna come along, right? And it's gonna make everything more efficient, and it's gonna shed light on people that are lazy, right? This is where the mindfuck happens. There's been 25 years of people that have developed anxiety, social handicaps, lack of being an outrovert, lack of social skills, mental health, and now the new entrepreneurship is your personal brand. The new promotion is your personal brand. So if I'm a leader, and I'm like, I got 2 workers, both of them are great at what they do. One has a better personal brand than the other. I want to promote a leader that got a personal brand because I want their brand to elevate my brand. If I'm going to make that investment, right? So now the internet have taught you that you didn't even have to go outside. You didn't even have to talk to people. But now the personal brand and self-promotion is like, oh, now you got to do it.
You got to do both. You got to
be
be online and you got to be offline to some degree.
Because that's a part of personal branding. When you talk about branding, if you're just a digital brand, you don't last long, right? But if you're a digital brand that have a activation or brick and mortar, right, approach, exposure and marketing, then you have a different aspect.
Tangible things, people that can hold, events that people can attend, things of that nature. Because I see what you're saying. Like, if I just log off my phone, you are gone. If I don't log back in and look at Ty's Twitter, I don't know about what's going on Ty's Twitter or Ty's IG. But if I see a flyer for Lemon Pepper Wet and I go to the event and I meet you there, then I'm like, man, I really like that guy. Let me go check out his IG. Then I see all of this fuck you money stuff. Let me subscribe to the YouTube, the Spotify. I was telling V, I was like, right now, my goal has been one person a day. If I talk to you, I gotta tell you about fuck you money.
Yeah.
I gotta send you the link tree. I gotta send you all this because I know if I'm doing at least one person a day, it's gonna become 5 people a day, 10 people a day.
Creating a groundswell.
But this is like texting, phone calls. This is not just sitting on social media. This is like, I know you saw it.
Yeah.
And I'm not assuming you follow me. I'm not assuming that because if I make that assumption,
you fucked up.
Completely.
Yeah.
I just ran into some guys the other day. I went to an event and my man asked me, what you been up to? I was like, oh man, I did this documentary. He's like, I didn't know that. He follows me on everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything. I know you costed the internet, but he just told me he hasn't seen this thing we promoted since November. Here's the link, bro. Let me know what you think. I can't sit here and assume you saw everything because you got your own life, you got your own algorithm. But trying to shrink that online, in-person relations, I think is important for our brand.
So let me tell you what's so crazy, right? This is what's gonna fuck people up. This is the best time to be an introvert.
Yeah.
Because you can create a personal brand without even seeing humans.
Yeah.
Like, you can all you have to do is muster up the courage in your room and shoot as many takes as possible, acting like you got that in you.
Hit it on.
And now you're driving it across the web and so many people are doing it. And what that does is it makes people know more about you when they meet you, so now they got to approach you. And the best thing an introvert can do is create an opportunity
for someone else to approach them. Yeah, yeah. Because that's half the battle. It's just trying to say, man, it's that time.
Trying to get the courage to walk up to somebody.
I know.
When you ain't even talked to enough humans in a week to approach somebody.
It's so funny you say that because a guy ran up on me the other day because he had saw us. We had a screening. He saw me at the screening. I had no idea who this guy was. But I could tell the way he approached me was kind of like he wasn't 100% sure. He was just kind of like, hey, bro, did you work on that thing? Locked him in as soon as sent him fuck you money. Just because it was like, oh, then you approached me about this? You was at this thing? You probably fuck with this. I can't say he was the only person that might have recognized me that night, but he was the only one that came up and said something. So now he sent me a flyer to something that he was doing. If I was in town, I would have pulled up. Just because it was just a quick exchange of, man, I know what you on. Let me show you what I'm on. That's it. It's not that. But again, Ty, you're right. The courage is not as transferable always, especially if you don't have a practice. Me and my one of my best friends, homie that we got the buddy passes with, right? We went to an event in 2010, and we didn't know anybody there, right? And we were just fresh out of high school. We graduated 2009. But we were already noticing that Atlanta had a scene of people coming together. Remember the tattoo parlor, City of Ink? They used to do these mixers. And we went to the mixer and we saw that all the people there knew each other. We didn't know nobody in there. And he was like, one day we need to come into something like this and know everybody. And I don't know why he said that, but that started to become like a practice. Go out, meet people, make one friend, make one contact. But that was, like I said, 2010, 2011. So when I went to an event 2 weeks ago, knew everybody. But that's 10 years of going out. That's 10 years of having a face. That's 10 years of writing. That's 10 years of doing all this stuff where it's like, if you do all of that, eventually you'll end up having some sort of idea of how to deal with people.
I mean, time in is important, right? And you have to create the life that the interactions you want to engage with. Right. So if you love talking about finances and you are at home by yourself, tweet about finances, share information about finances. Do all of those things about finances because what's going to happen is you're going to attract your tribe. Then once you know the tribe, then you can be like, oh, I wonder what they got going on. I mean, I'm gonna go to them, I'm gonna subscribe, I'm gonna hit them and say, yo, I'm gonna be on the way, man. I hope you there. We can meet in person, right? One of the PRs just last night when I was in New York, one of the PRs like, hey man, that's about one of my business partners, right? It was like, oh, Jane. He's like, hey, is Jane here? I never met her in person. It's just a lot of the internet stuff, you just be moving around. I didn't even realize that, right?
Yeah.
So it's people that we work with hand in hand, and sometimes for years that still haven't met in person, right? And that's because of the internet, right?
My Fonte from the group Little Brother, his secondary group is called Foreign Exchange. He started the group with a guy from the Netherlands. They met on the website OK Player, and they end up getting a Grammy-nominated album together. Probably like a year before, either a year before or a year after meeting. But they had made a whole 2 albums just off email back and forth. So when their record got Grammy-nominated, he's blown away because he's like, I don't even know this guy. I haven't really even met him in person. But they have musical chemistry. They have similar taste. And it's just cool that can happen today. Because, and that was 2004, 2005 when they met online. So imagine today, there's so much more accessible people across the globe that a quick message to somebody, you just never know what might happen.
Oh yeah. One of our producers, Nonsense, that produced on Good Days, he didn't meet SZA. I think the record was nominated for a Grammy and he still hadn't met SZA yet, right? Because it was like one of those things where one of the producers took in a record that they all did together, and then it just went from there. Like he never and that's another thought process of it. Was another level up for his life is his career as a producer. Got nominated for a Grammy, right? And still haven't spent no significant time with the artist.
No. Nascent is one of my favorite producer stories because I don't know if you know this about him, but he was in Chicago trying to get his music heard. So I think like Shade 45 had like a Dash radio show, and he called in to what's my man name that just passed away? The DJ out of New York, K Slay.
Okay.
He called into K Slay's radio station, asked K Slay, could he like play beats or something? And K Slay was like, bro, if you ever in New York, come to New York. Nonsense, saved money up, flew to New York.
Yeah.
Went to the radio station, sat in front of the radio station. K Slay saw him, was like, who are you again? He was like, remember I'm the kid that you told me to pull up to the radio. He said, oh yeah, I'll come back and get you. Never came back to get him, right? But the thing was, before Nassim went back to Chicago, he walked to the G Unit office and dropped off a beat tape. He got his first placement on a 56 tape.
Yeah.
Years, I think a year or two later, started his career off. But he had to show up. He had to believe that like his interaction with K-Slate on the phone was real, right? Even if K-Slate didn't fully understand what was going on.
That shit gotta be so real to you. That's why motherfucker don't tell me none of that shit. I'm pulling up.
Right?
Don't tell that shit, boy. I'm coming. If you say, yo, my mama get married, there's gonna be a lot of niggas there that you probably want to meet. Bro, I'm gonna pull up, but you better let your mama know I'm coming. Do not tell me
Tell her get to the door and be like, Ty's here. Oh, dang.
Nigga don't invite me nowhere, but I tell some of my super rich business partners, like, hey, bro, don't invite me. If you tell me something, facts, real story. I was in Vegas. This is probably where we have to go. I think we about to run out of time. But we was in Vegas for Formula One. Stout had took me to this investor's house, Idris Horowitz, Ben, one of the Horowitz brothers. So I meet a restaurant owner. The restaurant owner just in passing, while we were talking, was like, yeah, we opened up a new restaurant in Saudi Arabia. I was like, word? He's like, yeah, that's our third one. I was like, yeah, I'm coming to that. He was like, just let me know. Think I ain't booked my ticket the next day. And probably like, I was hitting Stout because I remember the dates. So I just booked my tickets. I was hitting Stout. I was like, yo, I'm trying to goddamn, what's up? I need you to get me that information. I'm already there. So like, I don't even really, it ain't nothing but either you're gonna like hit him up because Stout was a little confused. He was like, I don't think that'd be a really great moment. I was like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm pulling up.
He told me to come through.
So I get to Saudi Arabia. I bring Janair and Jane with me. We get to the restaurant and everything. She's like, Todd. We ended up getting in contact before. Like, Stout put us in contact. So we was chopping it up. Boom, boom, boom. I pulled up. And we got a chance to talk. He wanted to learn more about what we do. And I was just telling him about Culture Holdings. He was like, yeah, I know you're serious because I just mentioned this. And now you're here. Like, that's not normal. Like, well, don't invite me to the cookout, but I'm coming. I'm gonna bring some food.
I was about to say, you bring your friends.
I'm gonna bring some good conversation, but do not invite me. I'm coming. So I respect anybody. That's why nonsense is where he's at. You know what I'm saying? That's why, individuals like, even one of the guys I work with, Woody, where he's at. Like, when people are serious about what they do, don't invite the serious niggas or women. Don't invite them nowhere if you're not serious.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're gonna pull up.
They gonna slide.
And then you gotta decide what side of the bed that God woke you up on.
Yeah.
If you gonna be honest on what you said, was you just for saying things?
Were you just speaking or did you mean it?
Exactly.
Because they pulled up to see.
1,000%.
Guys, that was another episode of Fuck You Money. Thank you for watching, viewing. Share this with somebody that might need to hear this.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next time.